Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a full face of CoverGirl makeup. So this is going to include some old favorites and also some newer things that I've gotten in PR recently, and I just haven't had the chance to play with them more than once or twice. So as you all know, I'm doing no buy July, so that means all of my videos during this month are going to be older products or things that I've had for a while. I'm not buying anything new. So if that sounds good, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on those videos, and let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. All right, so I'm gonna start out with brow gel, and this is the Clean Fresh Brow Enhancer Wax. So I think it just comes in this one clear color. I got this, I wanna say a couple of months ago now, and I kind of remember using it once in a video, and then I went back to my Too Faced Fluff and Hold. So I just want to give this one another shot. The Too Faced is still my favorite by far. There's just something about that Too Faced one that I love. It's got such great hold, but it doesn't make my brows feel stiff or crunchy. So I do remember liking this one. I didn't think it was bad because I kept it. It's not in my little drawer over there that I have all my horrible stuff that I kind of keep separate for those roundup videos where I talk about the worst makeup. It didn't make it into that bin, so I know I must have liked it. But you know, it's funny, that's why I wanted to do these like no buy videos this month, because there are so many products that I've tried once and then I never went back to them again because I'm always chasing new. And it's so easy to get into that trap. So I just wanted to kind of break the cycle, take a breath, and try some things that I haven't tried in a while. So for complexion, I'm gonna use this primer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Velvet Blur Primer. This is another one that I only used one time, so I wanted to try it again. I know it's not as pore blurring as the L'Oreal Studio Secrets primer that I love, but I remember thinking it did a pretty decent job. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start working this in. It does give my skin like this super soft velvety texture. I love the way it feels. It wasn't quite as pore blurring as I was hoping that it would be, but I remember my makeup just sat so nicely on top of it, so I did like it just for that reason alone. And if you're wondering why I chose to do a full face of CoverGirl, first of all, I got a lot of requests for these full face of one brand videos when I announced my no buy, and there were so many brands that I could have chosen, and I probably will do some more of them throughout the month. So if there's another brand you want me to do, like e.l.f. or Milani or whatever, let me know. But I wanted to start with CoverGirl, I think because it's just one of those slept on brands. I feel like everybody does a full face of e.l.f. or NYX or Milani, and you never see CoverGirl. CoverGirl was the first makeup brand that I ever bought anything from back in the 80s or the late 80s, I guess, when I was turning 12 or 13. And it was the brand that my mom mostly used. So I have really good memories of CoverGirl, and they're also the only one of the big four drugstore brands. We have Revlon, L'Oreal, Maybelline, CoverGirl, those classic brands that have been around forever. They're the only ones that went cruelty-free. So I thought that was really nice. All right, so my brows haven't dried down completely yet. They still feel a little bit sticky. I don't want to put pencil in them yet because I feel like they're just gonna get all smudgy. So I'm gonna do my eyeshadow, and this is the Clean Color palette in the shade Dreamy Pink. I have all of these little quads, and I really haven't used them much since I originally purchased them, but I remember thinking they were a pretty good formula. So this one in particular has these warmer pink shades. I'm just gonna swatch it for you guys so you can see what all the colors look like. It has these really beautiful warm tone pinks as opposed to cool. And I'm loving how these eyeshadows look like they really pop on the eyes. They have that nice metallic finish. I do remember really liking these when I tested them out way back when. And one comment that I vividly remember getting when I reviewed these was how expensive they were. I'm just gonna grab this pink matte shade right here. But yeah, I think they're like $13 or something like that. And people were expecting them, I think, to be kind of like the e.l.f. bite-sized quads, which are only a couple of bucks. I guess it did seem a little bit shocking, but these look like they're a lot larger than the e.l.f. The pan sizes anyway look a lot bigger. So maybe they're giving you more product, I don't know, but I'm loving how this is blending out. This is really effortless. They definitely seem to have really good grip to my eyes. They're not an overly powdery shadow that just kind of blends away. They are a talc-free formula, by the way, and they have that slightly thicker, almost velvety texture that a lot of talc-free shadows have. One formula that comes to mind is the Doll Squad palette from Doll 10 that I love. That's also talc-free, and these shadows feel really similar to that. Okay, so I'm just doing a really simple summer look today. I'm just gonna put a shimmer on my lid. I'm not gonna do like the dark outer corner that I usually do and all of that. So the one CoverGirl product I'm not using today is the NYX Glitter Glue. I just love this so much. Moira also has one that I like just as much as this, and I just kind of use them interchangeably. I just use whichever one I grab first. So today it was the NYX, but they just help your shimmer shades to really grip to your eyes and last all day. So I'm gonna start with the deeper shimmer shade, and then I'm also gonna use this lighter one in the inner corner. So I'm gonna put this one kind of more toward the outer edge of my eye. It's this beautiful coppery shade, but it has a little bit of pink in it. It's got like a pinkish undertone. So it's really beautiful. It has a little bit of a crumbly texture, but it's still performing really nicely on my eyes, and especially over the glitter primer, the crumbliness isn't really an issue. So now I'm putting that lighter shade in the inner corner and just working that back toward the center. And I'm just gonna overlap these two colors a little bit. So yeah, just a really simple, easy look. In the summertime, I really don't go too crazy with eyeshadow. I've been doing a lot of one and done looks. I don't even think I brought any palettes on my vacation with me. I was just in Maine, and I brought a bunch of single shadows, the Moira ones, like the little flat ones that are supposed to be like the Urban Decay Moon Dust, and also some of ColourPop's Jelly Much shadows and the Super Shock shadows. I just love those for one and done looks. So that's pretty much just what I did on vacation. So it's a little bit of a change for me to even do this much in an eye look because I've just been keeping it so simple. I don't have a CoverGirl eyeliner, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna use the Slim Liquid Eyeliner from JudyDoll. I got this on YesStyle, and I've been loving this so much. This is another product that I actually brought on vacation with me because it's my favorite liquid eyeliner right now. So I'm just gonna wing this out a little bit. And I have this in the dark brown shade. I don't know if it's dark brown or deep brown. It's one of the two. But it has the tiniest little tip on it. Just perfect for creating a wing, and if you have hooded eyes especially. All right, so moving on to mascara. I have this new one. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. They sent this to me in PR at least a month ago, maybe more. So this is their Lash Blast Cleantopia, and this is the Ultramarine Black. So it says that it's intense black with a hint of blue to brighten up your eyes. It also says that it has plant fibers in the formula, so I guess it's supposed to give you a lot of length. I'll just quickly show you the tube. So that's what that looks like. And then the wand is kind of the hourglass style brush. It reminds me a little bit of the Too Faced Better Than Sex. And when I look at the brush, I can definitely see the tint of blue in here. It's not completely like a bright electric blue like you see in some mascaras, but it's a blue-black for sure. I just think it's kind of a little bit of a gimmick. I don't think that this being on my eyelashes is gonna do anything to make my eyes look brighter. I feel like that's just marketing. So this is a little bit of a wetter formula, and the brush is very soft. So it doesn't really hold a lot of tension when I go to comb it through my lashes, and I do prefer that. So this isn't my absolute favorite kind of brush, but it's not bad. I still feel like I can build my lashes pretty easily. All right, so here's the difference between one eye and the other. I feel like this gave me okay lashes. Like, they're not the biggest lashes, they're not the longest or the fullest. It's just kind of in between. So it's okay. I feel that way about most CoverGirl mascaras these days. My favorite that they had ever come out with was the Super Sizer, and they don't make that anymore. But that one just gave me so much length and volume, like a false lash kind of look. And all the ones I've tried since then just kind of give more of a natural lash look, which is fine if that's what you're going for. But I just love the big lashes, especially because I don't wear falsies. So I want to try to get my natural lashes to be as big as I can. By the way, if you're wondering about the top that I'm wearing, it's like a sweater tank top. I love this so much. Unfortunately, it's very old. I know, like, sometimes I get questions about what I'm wearing, and if it's something new that you can still get, I will link it down below. But in this case, this is from American Eagle. I don't know, maybe like 2018 or something like that. I remember I got it because I saw Tati wearing it in a video, and I was like, I love that. I'm not sure if she linked it in the description box or if I just saw like other people asking in the comments and then somebody answered them. But either way, I found out it was from American Eagle. I went right over there, I got it, and I still wear it to this day because it's so cute. All right, so checking my brows, they still feel goopy. I think this is why I wasn't super crazy about this brow gel, because the Too Faced one dries down so fast and then I can just go right in with the product. And I know some people will say do the pencil first, but I think it all depends on what your brows actually look like, because my brows grow sideways and down. And so when I put brow gel in, I'm brushing them in the complete opposite direction. I'm brushing them up. So if I fill them in before I get them set into the place that I want them, I'm filling it in the wrong section. And then I go to brush them up and then there's tons of gaps because they're not like in the same spot as they started out, like if that makes sense. So I like to brush them up, get them into place, and then just fill in the gaps that way. It's a lot easier. So for brows, I'm going to be using this new brow pencil. Again, hadn't even taken it out of the package yet. This is their Clean Fresh Brow Liner, and it's a 1mm nano pencil. They sent it to me in the shade Soft Brown, so hopefully this works. It's smaller than most micro brow pencils. I know Huda Beauty has one like this, and Benefit just came out with one recently too that I really like. It's like called the Brow Detailer, I think. The only thing I'll say about brow pencils this thin is you really need to be careful because they can snap so easily. So I just try to like only twist them up a tiny little bit at a time, and that kind of helps. So let's see how this works out. Right away, it's a little bit of a lighter color than my natural brows, but that's okay. I find that when I use a lighter color, it almost gives my brows a little bit of a highlight, and it kind of looks similar to my hair because my hair is not one color either. And by the way, if you want to see what this color looks like, I just drew it on my hand. It's right there. It's kind of like a light warmer brown, but I do like the way that this is applying. It's not too stiff and it's also not too soft. I find that brow pencils that are too soft just make my brows look really messy, and this just gives a little bit more definition, which I like. So yeah, I'm not gonna go too crazy filling in my brows. I'm just gonna do a little bit. To be honest, I'm not loving how this pencil is working out, but I think that's because of the gel, because my brows are just all sliding around. It didn't completely dry down, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to leave these alone before it gets any worse. So that's that. At this point, I kind of have the products that I really love to use on my brows, and anything else that I try kind of doesn't measure up. So my normal brow routine is the Too Faced Fluff and Hold brow wax, and then the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. So moving on to complexion, there are a couple of CoverGirl foundations that I've really been loving lately. I love the Essence for really light coverage days. I think this looks just like skin. It's so beautiful. Also, their new Clean Invisible foundation is beautiful. It really has a little more coverage than the Essence does, but it also has that same skin-like finish. It's just gorgeous. I feel like I've been wearing those more recently, so I want to go back to the Simply Ageless powder foundation. I actually did a whole video on just this because it looks so smoothing on your skin, and it's such a pore blurring powder, and I usually can't wear powder foundations like this. Not very many work for me. I can use the Laura Geller one, the Jane Iredale one. This is a more affordable option, and even though it's not a baked formula, it's pressed powder, it still works for me, and I like using it with the puff more than a brush. I feel like the puff just gives me the most flawless result. It has really great coverage. So the shade that I have is Classic Ivory number 210, and I just pick up a little bit on the puff and watch what happens. This also has a pink undertone, this color, which really matches me perfectly. So you can see it just kind of like blurring everything away, and it looks like I'm applying a filter on my face. I'll show you guys a close-up in just a second, but like, look at this side of my face as I put the powder on versus over here. Even having dry skin, this doesn't look dry. And in the summertime, powder foundations are wonderful because they feel so lightweight on your skin. They don't feel heavy like a liquid. When it's humid out, it's just kind of refreshing to use a powder. So zoomed in, you can see how smooth this looks. It just kind of floats on top of my skin without settling into pores or fine lines. Like over here, you know, my skin looks fine. I did put that pore blurring primer on, but over here, it's just absolutely flawless. And like I said, this has really great coverage if you use the puff. So I'll show you close up what it looks like going on. So watch this. It's like you just kind of smooth away all the texture on your skin. I find that I don't even need to use concealer with this because the coverage is so great. I honestly forgot how much I loved this powder foundation. So definitely check this out. It's hard to find all the shades. Like I want to say Target and Ulta have it, but they don't have every single shade. I'll see if Amazon does because they're usually better about like carrying the whole shade range. Wherever I can find it, I'll link it down below. But again, this is the Instant Wrinkle Blurring Pressed Powder, and it is so good. Moving on to blush. Because I have the warmer toned eye, I had to pull this one out again, and I haven't used this blush in so long, but it is one of my absolute favorites. This is their classic color blush in the shade Soft Mink, and it is like the perfect warm pink color. It has a little bit of a glow to it. I'll show you swatch really quick. It's so beautiful. Like you can see it has a little bit of a sheen, but it's not glittery. And it's just a perfect pink. So I'm going to use the Sigma Soft Sculpt brush. And just to let you guys know, this does have a little bit of that Noxzema scent in it. So if you're sensitive to fragrance, I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if they've reformulated it since then. Mine is really old, but just know that it may have the fragrance in there. Oh my gosh. Every time I wear this blush, I wonder why I don't wear this all the time. It's so pretty, and I feel like it is so hard to find a glowy blush at the drugstore. I'm just gonna put a little bit across the bridge of my nose as well. It's just like the perfect warm pink. I also think it goes really nicely with the eyeshadow colors too. Another CoverGirl blush that I just want to point out really quick that Emily Noel turned me on to are the Instant Cheekbones. This one is the shade Purely Plum. So these are cooler tone shades. And again, like look at how pretty these are. And it's such a soft and beautiful formula. The Instant Cheekbones are a little harder to find. I found it at Walmart, but that's literally the only drugstore that I've ever seen these in. So if you're wondering, these are also really nice blushes as well. So moving on to lips, I might be crazy, but I really want to try these Outlast lip stains again. I love the idea of them, but when I tried it in a video a couple months ago, I remember saying how drying it was. These are basically like those dry markers that are alcohol based. So unfortunately, they're not very kind to dry lips, but I did put on a nice thick lip balm. I put on the Dr. Pawpaw, and my lips feel really good right now. So I just want to try, instead of like putting this all over my lips like I did the first time, I just want to try putting a little on my finger and maybe smudging it into my lips that way. And I'm really hoping it'll just leave a little bit of a soft stain. I want to do kind of that gradient effect. So I'm going to apply more color to the insides of my lips and then blend it up outward. By the way, I realized I didn't even mention what color I'm using. This is the shade Shuggy Girl, which is just like a really light, again, warm pink shade. So anyway, just pressing this into my lips. This color is actually gorgeous. It's really soft if you do it this way. And these lip stains come in such beautiful colors. They have really bright ones. They have a bright orange that looks really fun. They have like bright pinks. They also have a lot of neutrals like this, if that's what you prefer. But I'm loving how this just gave me a little bit of a slight stain. It gives that whole I was eating a popsicle kind of look where it just tints your lips a little bit, but it doesn't make you look overly made up either. I'm just gonna put a little bit more lip balm on top so my lips don't dry out. And hopefully this color will last me a good amount of time throughout the day. So I'll be sure to leave you guys a pinned comment down below just on how everything held up. I know I love the powder foundation that I've found to be very long lasting. As far as the eyeshadow, the mascara, the lip product and everything, I'll have to just give you guys an update. But anyway, here's the finished look. Just a super simple summertime look, very easy, very fresh, and using all CoverGirl products from my collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. Again, if you'd like to see me do another full face of one brand, let me know, and just keep those video ideas coming for things that you'd love to see in No by July, like Shop My Stash and favorites and all of that. So thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. If you have some extra time and you'd like to watch another video, I'll just put something right up here that you could check out next. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next one. Take care. Bye.